So let's talk about deficiency judgments and what happens to the lost money once the bank agrees to the short sale of your home. And how does the bank deal with that loss? This has to be the most important part of the short sale process, and also the most ill-advised or misinformed by real estate agents, brokers, attorneys, and advocates of the real estate process. What we need to understand is that the homeowner is still the owner of record until the property is sold at the auction blocks. Once it's sold, that's a different story. But until then, the homeowner has leverage to get the best terms and negotiate the offer and counteroffer and leave the property there with a forgiveness of debt. That is the goal. That's why it's so important to align yourself with the right team, the right people, the right office to negotiate the best terms. I know our office has a 98% success rate of negotiating the best terms for our seller. Now, when you receive a 1099, you want to receive that. You need to welcome that. And you're probably thinking, why would I want to receive a 1099 from the bank and have capital gains tax? Well, I'll tell you why, but I want to go back a little bit and let you know there's also another misunderstanding out there when it comes to foreclosure, because people think that you're not going to receive a 1099 once the property is foreclosed upon as well. Well, you do. There's two different types of 1099s. One for foreclosure, which is a 1099A, and which could be a taxable event. And for short sale, it's a 1099C that you would receive. So prior to 2007, if you had a property for $400,000 and you sold it for $200,000, there's a $200,000 difference. The bank will write that off on their books as a loss and 1099-U as a gain. So you would be that would be taxable income to you of that $200,000. Now, in 2007, George Bush came out with some legislation to kind of help us out there, because people were a little bit apprehensive about the short sale process. So what the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act simply states is any borrower who receives a 1099 that resulted from a foreclosure or short sale are completely forgiven from any IRS liability if that's your primary residence. So people were looking for a bailout. This is the bailout. Obama extended this from 2000. It expired in 2009. He extended it all the way out to 2012. So if you're looking for something, this is it. Make sure that you talk to your CPA about, when you receive that 1099, about IRS Form 982. You need to file that with the 1099 so that you will not be taxed. That income will not be taxable to you. Now, you're probably thinking, this is not, what if I don't have a principal residence? What if I have an investment property? Well, there's good news for you too as well. There's something that's called solvent versus insolvent. And the definition of insolvency is anytime an individual has more debt and liabilities than assets. So if you have more debt and liabilities than assets, then you are considered insolvent. And in this market and day and age, a lot of people have properties that are upside down and they are insolvent. I want to disclaim here that I'm not a CPA, so you need to talk to your CPA. I've seen it in rare cases that a person is not insolvent, and this does not apply. So talk to your CPA, see if you're insolvent. But for the most part, a lot of people are insolvent. I want to go back here to the deficiency judgments and talk about bullet point number 2, the prom note or promissory note. What happens here? You typically see a person, when they're doing a negotiation on a short sale, the lender may ask for a promissory note. And, there's ways around that as well. I'll give you an example. The lender may say, you owe $400,000. In order for us to short sell this property, we want you to sign a promissory note of, $50,000 payable at interest only over $100 a month for 15 years. And a lot of times the realtor will have you sign that. That is not the best situation for you. Okay? What you can offer instead of a prom note, the lender knows. We normally call those hope notes. because they hope that you will pay. If you're having a hardship prior to the actual short sale, the lender understands that they may not receive money on that promissory note after the property has gone to sale and after you have sold, completed the short sale. They understand that. So they would rather have a cash contribution right here. They would rather have a cash contribution. So if your realtor, broker, attorney, a negotiator offered a cash contribution of, say, I don't know, $4,000 or $2,000 instead of a promissory note and settle the debt, that would be the best scenario for you. So the goal is to leave the property with no deficiency judgments and no taxable liability. That is the goal. So I've seen it in some cases, and actually we just had one recently where you can negotiate even a cash contribution. It's about understanding the process and writing or getting the right terms, so that can be negotiated as well. So if you're in a situation and you're having to write a promissory note, typically the real estate agent, their mindset is, my seller doesn't have any money, and so in order to continue with this transaction, we need the seller to sign off on this promissory note. And that is not always true. That is not always true. And also the cash contribution, if you can offer that, or if you don't have a contribution, there's ways around that as well. So understand the mindset of the real estate broker or the attorney. There's always ways to negotiate the best terms for the seller. I hope this information has been informative to you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to click on the link and ask the questions. Thank you so much.